Yo. What's going on, man? Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to the third installment of Ncaa Masterclass, man. It's your boy, Lever KT. Y'all already know who it is on the other side.
Your boy, Moon Vibes, live in the flesh. Welcome back. Long time no see.
I see we got some major players in the building, man. My man Joel 8 is in the building. My man He on Ice Kid is in the building, a.k.a. Mr. Arson Crabs, a.k.a. Mr. Hot Takes, man. Welcome. So today we got on the slate custom schedules, exposure as far as television scheduling, television games, red shirting, pretty much depth charts, and even adding more recruits. Moon Vibes can give y'all a little bit more in depth about what we will be discussing today.
So last week we talked about a variety of different things, but starting on the basis of recruiting, why it was important. We broke down the recruiting skill tree, went from bottom to top, explained the importance of every single one, and really dived into, what makes NCAA different than any other game that there is, just with the recruiting. This week we talk about custom schedules, why it's important, why you want to have a great out of schedule games, and we'll talk about TV games. We'll talk about we'll talk about a lot, but in short, red shirts, managing your depth chart, and also just adding more recruits to our board so that we can get the most out of our time recruiting. And you can see that in KT's last stream. He has 7 instant commits in the first week.
Yes, sir. Using those tactics that you taught us, man. Like I say, and like I always say, these master classes are not just for the viewer. I take a lot of notes during these, man, and I implement them into the stream. So yeah, it was dope going to West Virginia and dope getting that win against Illinois, man. And Kirk Herbstreit picked the wrong team as usual. He picked Illinois.
He always adds more fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
especially if he doesn't pick your team to win. It's like added motivation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, man, how y'all doing? How's everybody in the chat doing? He on Ice Kid. I did see that you stopping by. Meditation is a beautiful thing, man. Definitely make sure you catch the VOD or the YT when we upload it. Should have that up. I'ma just say by tomorrow morning. I don't want to make up anything, man. So I'm definitely on my way to pulling up the Dynasty now, and we will go to the 2x1 screen. Alrighty. Hey, man, amazing, man. Joel, thank you for always being here on these streams, bro. Always been an intricate part. I guess we can announce it that Joel will be a part. He will be a special guest. Episode 5. We're gonna lab with him and kind of figure out what topics he want to discuss. But definitely appreciate you being here to get to this 2x1 screen. So custom schedules. Did you want to go to that first? Did you want to go to red shirt players? How did you want to formulate this, Moon Vibes?
We just go in order since it's easier.
Alrighty. So I haven't fully set up the recruiting board. So I guess we should finish doing that. I know the last time we was here, Moon Vibes was kind of teaching us a way to kind of garner how we would line up the recruiting board based on people who was all greens. If you guys remember exactly what he was talking about. Hold on.
And my knowledge as far as this game keeps expanding. It's something that kind of never stops. You kind of can't get complacent with your knowledge of this game, but the tactics that we use in recruiting pay off and pay dividends in the long term. And with our strategy for this specific dynasty, we are focusing on recruits that have green as far as their interest. And we started with the Spark 100. Spark 100 is the top 100 recruits in the nation. Mostly 4 and 5 stars that don't really have too much to say about them. Like they are like the high profile recruits that you get every year. Each year is different recruits, but at the end of it, you're going to understand the importance of the Spark 100 if your school is able to get some of these recruits. Now, if you're a 1-star school, you're building a 1-star program or a 2-star program, there's chances are that you might not be able to find any Spark 100 players that are interested in your school that are all green. The reason why I put emphasis on all green is because the bonus points that they acquired from just nothing. Like they get bonus points every week just from being on your recruiting board. So it's an automatic win-win for you. But I've noticed that when you don't have all green, the bonus points are lower. So they can range from anywhere as a maximum of 400 all the way down to like 50, depending on if they're a pipeline state. Last week we talked about pipeline states, but this recruit right here, Corey Muniz, he's in Texas, Bridge City, Texas, 6'2", 191. And as you can see, it's all green. Playing style, his most important things, all green. Conference prestige, B+. Second highest, and championship contender is high with the A+. We right online, so we will add him to our board. He's an athlete. We ranked the number 9 athlete. So we have to take that into consideration when we're scouting him, because we bring it in, and when we do the recruiting board, we're gonna have to pay attention to his athletes' ratings, and this helps us determine what position he will be playing on our roster. And we keep going down the list. We have another A+, Joey Frazier.
Wow.
Bryson Williams. And you see the trend. These athletes are the ones that have the high interest grades. He barely just made it. I mean, he barely missed it. Walter White, well, we can add him anyways. He barely missed it too. Jeff White, we can add him anyways. He barely. Now, I want to talk about this. It's always risky when you're recruiting and you see their most important, and their most important is not in the green. It's always risky adding them to their board, because they could end up blocking you out, or they could just not take your school seriously when it comes to the recruiting trail. It's a long process over the course of 15 weeks, sometimes 16 if you use the first week in all season the right way. So with him, it's going to be a risk, but I wouldn't add him to my board only because he's a wide receiver, and I can go and probably get a 3-star wide receiver that's probably just as good, or later down the road. So I'll just skip on him. And it just depends on what your strategy is. Now, if your school desperately needs just players of any sort, stick with the athletes. Dissect the athletes. Focus on the athletes that have green interests. But if you need a wide receiver, I don't know, can't remember what our team needs are. But if we don't need wide receiver, then I'm passing on Martin.
Actually, you brought up a good point. So we added those 6 prospects. I think we need to go dissect this roster, because it's been so long since we played this dynasty. But I think it's a great vehicle. So Hudson is back. This is my quarterback, everybody. Jesus
99.
Christ. Jesus Christ. My quarterback. Look at my quarterback room, man. Herb Dottie.
Stud.
BP McNeil, who ended up starting at QB last year. The quarterback room is ridiculous. So I think this is an excellent time to analyze the roster. We had depth charting as one of our points of emphasis for today's episode. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. For those who were here last week, you've heard this before. Damian Hudson is probably the best player I've ever had. Period. And I think I was telling y'all that I instantly seen Lamar Jackson when I seen him. And even though he was good at quarterback, he made a lot of plays. I think definitely if I ran the system that Moon Vibes installed that I run now with him, quarterback would be easy, because it's all about you take advantage. If it's 6 or more in the box, we're passing. If it's not, we're running. But he would have been a great wide receiver, a great cornerback. Like anywhere he would have played, he just pretty much would have been elite at. And I probably could have used him elsewhere.
When it comes to Damian Hudson, I never asked you this, but did you actually recruit him to your roster?
Yeah.
And if so, was he an athlete
He was
already?
He was an athlete.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense now.
He was an athlete.
Makes a lot.
Best athlete I've ever seen. I don't remember much about these running backs, but off Bucks, I probably would go with Ncaa Smoke, and it looks like he started like the previous season because there's no way he's an All-American if he didn't start.
Yes.
Just based on his speed, acceleration, and agility, definitely my type of running back.
Go to more info real quick on Nico, just to see what his stats was for last year.
So he averaged 5.1 a touch, 800 yards. Longest rush was only a 27-yarder. Like I said, I was running a completely different offense then. So who would you start at running back here and why at Moon Vibes?
Well, I'm going to start Ncaa Smoke.
Okay.
And it will be a tough call just because we're looking at Brown right now. Brown just looks like a Mack truck.
Mm-hmm.
He has spin move. He can't really catch it out of the backfield. His carrying is lower, but it's better than the rest of the running backs. But the reason why I'm starting Nico is just for one thing, that acceleration.
Right.
That acceleration is, you can't teach that. And although he did not have a run longer than 30 yards last year, with the new offense and being in a spread, it will open up the field for him to be able to take it the distance. Now, I would be so tempted to run a 2-back, 3-back system, changing all of these 3 backs to try to get. And how I would do this is you can do it 2 ways. You can do auto subs and turn auto subs on and heighten it so your running backs are constantly changing in and out. Or you can go to your formation subs and each formation that you have, put a different running back for each formation. So let's say you have spread flex, you want to put Nico spread flex since he's faster and everything like that. But if you need a running back that can catch more, like Brown or maybe even Whitlock, you would put them in a trick set. So you're utilizing, in each formation has a different running back, so you're utilizing all of them. You just will have to utilize these formations and not be stuck on one formation all the time.
So,
because it gets comfortable just being in that offense and saying, all right, well, we're just gonna read into everything. But that's what I would do. I'll be so tempted to do a three back system where, you know, everybody's getting equal touches, and if I can't get equal touches, I'm riding a hot hand, whoever is a hot hand this week.
So just so everyone knows, this season it'll be sim style. Week to week, we'll pay attention to recruiting, make any coaching adjustments that we need to make, because we're trying to show you that these skills that Moon Vibes are teaching us actually work, and that you don't even need to play the games as long as you're taking care of everything on the back end. As Moon Vibes always say, if you're faithful to NCAA will be faithful to you. Everything will come to fruition. So fullback, I never recruit fullbacks. I mean, I
haven't had a dynasty yet where I've had a solid fullback come in and give me solid production.
Right.
Mainly because I don't run a lot of
power sets.
Power set pro style offense. So they're kind of not used a lot. And oftentimes I find myself putting my fullback as another blocker for 2 tight end formations if I don't have a quality tight end as my backup. So I use it depends on what he's good at. If he's a receiver, then I might use him in a situation where, or a running receiver, I might use him in a situation where I might have one formation that's like flex bone. So I might try a Georgia Tech little series or 2 to see if I can make it work. But if I can't, then, you know, there's other way. But like we say, if you're faithful to NCAA will be faithful to you, and that also means with not only recruiting but with putting your players in right positions to succeed. And speaking of that, is as long as you put Travis Ross on the field, he should just go crazy.
Right,
He
right.
should go crazy.
This
The
receiving
best
core is it's amazing, bro.
solid. 95, 94, 95, 90 speed for the first four wide receivers. Travis Ross has 99 acceleration. So my game plan, if I was playing the season, would be like, all right, well, since I know that, maybe since my top four receivers are so solid, what about putting Lowry at number one, Brown at number two, and Ross at number three in the slot, and put that in the slot. And let's say I do run trips or spread flex, I'll always have the ability to motion Ross from either side to test the defense. And if I run a spread option type of feel with the playbook, Ross with this 99 acceleration will be the one that is in the play for those option plays, like the wide receiver option plays. So that's the reason why I say for him to
Exactly.
yes. That's how I'm thinking. But solid class, like you can't be mad at that. Your top six receivers are all over 80.
What would you do with Kevin Washington?
So let's go to more info really quick.
I think I redshirted him.
Have no. You redshirted him last year. 5'11", 192. Okay, you can go back out. Let me see his stats. 95 speed, 74 agility. That's tough. Awareness 59. Break tackles.
His catching is low.
Low catching. But he has high catching traffic though. That's appealing.
Yeah.
His break tackle. Wait, go to one stat. I want to know one stat. What is his route running? So he has to stay at receiver, or you can get creative. I mean, what's the other players as far as wide receivers? What are their years as far as like senior, junior, and everything? Because we got sophomore, junior Robert Lawson, senior Travis Ross, senior Andy Brown, junior. He can stay at receiver and just have to suck it up this year. But next year, hopefully, when Ross is gone in the NFL, he's gonna be a hot pick. But when Ross is gone, when Lowry hopefully graduates, he probably doesn't need to stay another year. Sometimes you can do that, but what about his defensive ratings? Like, does he have any? Washington have any solid defensive ratings? Like, can he tackle? Is he? Because I see that he's fast.
With past position changes, so his tackle was 53. Nah.
Never mind, Washington. You can stay at receiver.
So should he be the number 6 receiver? You think he deserves to be the 4th receiver over Mario Thompson?
I think he deserves to be number 4.
Okay.
And the reason why is just because he's a better just athlete than Larson.
Okay.
Even though his overall may be lower, I think his overall is taking a hit because of his awareness being so low. His awareness is 59. So that goes into factor. So that's gonna come into play when we got situations where, like, let's say it's a third down, right? And you throw 3rd and 10. You throw one of those famous out routes to the outside, but Washington might cut his route off a little short and not go exactly to the first down. That's where it might come into play at.
Right.
But he'll make up for it by, let's say, him being the 4th wide receiver, so he's on the inside in spread flex. In 2 wide receiver set, he's on the inside receiver, so he'll be able to use him in like the wide receiver option game, or or you can use him like with screens, both screens, and that. So I guess it's just finding the niche for him, but he would be my fourth wide receiver.
Yeah, what's interesting with him is the awareness is crazy, but his route running is a 96. How do those two relate? Like he has he's tied for the highest route running on the team. How does awareness correlates with route running?
I think that go hand in hand. I think because his route running is so high, it'll kind of like cancel out as far as like black set in the ratings. That's what I would hope it does. So it shouldn't affect him too much, but like awareness is just IQ as a whole. But let's say his awareness was low and his route running was low, then that's like, okay, we have a problem.
Right.
Like, we have a significant problem here. But because his route running is so good, I would love to see him run comeback routes. I would love to see him run, not even flies. Like, I won't even put him on flies. I would run him on comeback routes, out routes, screens, just different things, unique routes that will have him be able to break man coverage. He is going to come into play when you play tougher teams that have man coverage with their CBs in their secondary.
Right.
He's going to play because if you need somebody to get open, he probably is going to be the person that gets open. Second highest on the team. But if you think about it, Lowry has low awareness. He's in the 60s with his awareness. Washington is low. Ross is a 92 overall, but his awareness is only 79. So it's not like it's going to do you so much harm to focus on awareness for this for these wide receivers. I think route running is more vital and more value for wide receivers than awareness is. Like, in fact, he makes up for it even more, Washington, because he has high catching traffic too. So you know how Black said it, as soon as you you throw certain balls that are 50-50 contest balls, he'll come down with one or two. Versus somebody like Larson or Thompson might not be able to do that, even though their awareness is high. So that's how I choose to look at it. But it's so much that you could do, but he's going to come into play, especially when you deal with teams that play a lot of man. And I would even be tempted to do 5 wide receiver sets and maybe get as much speed, because look at your top 5 wide receivers. 94, 95, 95, 95, 90, all over 90, right? So that's a win. All over 90, right? So that's a win.
All right, my apologies. Give me one. I don't know what's going on here. All right, my bad. So let me look at this, and we are still in the ACC, if I'm not mistaken, right, Moon Vibes?
Yes, sir. I think we didn't move. The tight end class is kind of weak this year, with sophomore Kenny Parker. He has 83 speed. 85 acceleration, but the reason why I say it's weak is not because of skill. 85 acceleration, but it's because of depth.
So who would you start?
Let's just go down the list. Can we look at blocking first and foremost to see which one is either a blocker or a receiver?
It's kind of close there.
Yeah, it's actually not even letting me see it on the screen. I gotta look. Yeah, it's actually not even letting me see it on the screen. That is close. So let's just be honest. We're not gonna be able to. We're not gonna be able to put him in pass protection, although we might be able to use it. Let's say we run certain sets that have a tight end in the formation, or like trips offset, for example, where you have three receivers to one side and then you have a tight end flanking outside.
It's ISO,
we might have to keep him in the block, so that's where it might come in handy as far as pass blocking. But it's kind of a toss up. I kind of would go with the highest overall, and since he's a little bit faster, well, significantly faster if I factor in acceleration too, because acceleration matters.
And
but yeah, I would actually put one of the fullbacks. Isn't there two fullbacks on the roster? Or it's only one?
It's just one.
That's tough. Because what they're going to do is they're going to end up putting somebody like a wide receiver to fill in that void. So that's why it's important to have at least 3 tight ends. And I was hoping to have at least a fullback, 2 fullbacks, so I can put, like Howell said earlier, put your slow fullback, or slow tight end at fullback, or vice versa. Your fast tight end. We got one. Okay, so he's 60. He's probably not going to play a lot, but at least he's able to fill a spot on the roster. Freshman, true freshman that is, hasn't been redshirt yet. I have to keep him on my roster. I can't redshirt him just for depth reasons. And that's another reason. We'll talk about redshirting in a second. But those are the decisions that you're going to have to make in the offseason, because they're going to help you not only with pipeline states, but and whether you choose to cut someone or not, but it's also going to help you with depth in the season, knowing that players get tired and fatigued over the course of a game, but also the course of the season and in a game, especially if you run hurry up, no huddle offenses that I love personally. You're gonna need an extra tight end, so we can keep him. I would probably start Parker.
Okay.
And just call it a day. The offensive line is going to be where it's more challenging, because you see how we have a left tackle, but we have a right tackle as his backup, but it's rated higher. How you have 99 acceleration as
at 53 speed, bro?
That makes me think that I probably might have to change his position
to a guard.
Imagine him pulling, or like your favorite play, counter. One of your favorite plays is counter. Imagine him pulling in the counter with 99 acceleration in the open field.
He cleaning up.
It's gonna be tough. 94 overall guard. That's tough. He has 96
speed with 96 acceleration.
That's crazy. 88 overall, 91 acceleration. Yo, linemen are kind of faster than the tight ends. They're running with the skill positions when it's gas was in, trying to do those suicides.
This controller is killing me, Smalls. Yeah, that line is fast as hell, man. That's just ridiculous.
So with that, it's kind of like I got to take that into factor. Now, if I ran a pro style offense with them before, I would highly consider running spread or running air raid, where I have the ability to get my linemen out in space. So I think wide receiver mid screens, think HV screens, think that type of feel. Counters, things that have changed the direction, so you can get your linemen out in space so they can go to work and clean up. I would be in a bad position if I just say I'm just going to drop back and pass all game. They might not be able to do that, because your acceleration is not going to come in a factor when you have a defensive lineman coming at you full speed.
And you're just pretty much standing there.
Exactly. So I would use them in like real ways where I can do a lot of screens, a lot of misdirection counters. Even if I got to do power O football and have my guards pulling, I would make the adjustment for my offense to tailor my line. Speaking of line, we get to the D line, and we got this All American Thad Charles, 86 overall, 92 acceleration. It kills me that his awareness is so low. That his awareness is 63. That comes into fact, with things like offsides and things like diagnosing the screenplays. He'll be the type of person where he'll get you some sacks, but he'll run past the screen. There'll be a screen coming to his side, and he'll just probably run past it.
Right past it.
But he's fast enough to be able to hawk him down, though.
Hold on.
Your line is fast, dude. Both sides of the ball.
It's a discussion that needs to be had. Hold on, let me see something. You got 82 strength. Let me look at the tackle real quick. Oh, man. All right. So he's an All-American, red shirt, 86 overall. Like you said, the low acceleration. Do you redshirt Jason Bird, or do you give Jason Bird an opportunity to play? How would you handle that?
I would handle it in this way. I would put Jason Bird. It's always risky because if you redshirt him this year and he's a sophomore, he could transfer.
Right.
Because of not having play time. But if I'm playing him, I have to be able to put him in positions where he's able to like be on the field. So either turn my auto subs on and make him make the defensive line interchange a lot, or formation subs where I have him in different formations. So like think of, let's say we have nickel 2-4-5, for example. I'm just throwing out a random defense, but have 4 defensive ends. He might come into play. That Charles is a monster. But I would be tempted to just stick with Charles since he is the All-American, and stick with Snyder, and then just rotate those two back and forth because they're kind of like the same player.
Right. And then,
if you look at it.
And then redshirt Bird.
And yeah, redshirt Bird.
Which we will get to later in this episode. This line is really solid, man. Really solid.
Because think about it, you got two. If you have Snyder as the backup for Big Philly too, he's gonna be getting a lot of play time.
Yeah.
That's where it's a risk though, because let's say we do have an injury to either Philly, Snyder, or who else? Bird.
Charles.
I mean not Charles. Yeah, Charles. Let's say we do have an injury. Bird is going to come into play now, and we might have to waste that red shirt. However, Snyder being that interchangeable piece in the depth chart where he's not only the backup for the left end, but he's also a backup for right end too. He's going to be getting playtime anytime Philly or Charles gets out the game. So it's just a risk, but I would redshirt just this year and just hope that Snyder makes that +6 jump next year. And if he does, he's going to be looking at an acceleration probably in the 94, 95 area. But what's hurting him the most, and the reason why, if I am making the executive decision to redshirt him, is because his awareness is only 48.
That could definitely use a big bump. So, like you said, the only concern is him transferring. But I'm hoping he will understand with the players he got in front of him why, it's only to protect his eligibility. With him only being a sophomore.
Is Charles a senior?
Yeah.
So
and Snyder.
That would be, and Snyder. So it's not, if you get redshirted, it's not just go hone in on your skills, and next year you're gonna be playing extensively.
Right.
You're gonna be playing a lot. So we're gonna need you. That 91 acceleration is gonna come in handy. That 90, he's probably gonna be the fastest lineman next year.
Definitely.
By a landslide. So that's offense or defensive lineman. So I would just, sit on the gym. He's a gym type of player. I would just sit on him for this year and then just go with just hope that he doesn't redshirt. I mean, hope that he doesn't
Transfer.
transfer.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Hmm.
Um, boom. So let's go. Defensive tackle. I think we're pretty much. I think my three of my four starting linemen, and really I only run three linemen most of the time, are all Americans. So that's amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. And with them being all American, let's just hope that he turns into full potential and they go high in the draft, so it helps with the ratings. And also, we're gonna need to recruit defensive tackles. We're gonna need to recruit at least one as far as defensive tackle on the D line for just to get some depth when they do leave. Maybe they won't be able to replace the production that Hart gives you, but at the same time, it's just adding on to the depth. But it's five of them. Let's just be real. Hart is going to probably get the most playtime by a landslide. The only way, because I'm looking at it and thinking of it from the standpoint that you run a nickel 3-3-5 defense with three down linemen, so
Exactly.
you only use one of the defensive tackles to begin with, and only other time. So that's only the first two D linemen, and everybody else kind of has to either get redshirted, or they just not getting used. So that's the downside of having a lot of a position that you don't really tailor your scheme for, like defensive tackles, for example. Now we get to linebacker, and
It looks
these
like
are
this
all
may be the weakest position so far
yeah,
of my team. Whoa.
sheesh.
He must. I mean, he was an All American, so I don't know how.
6'2", 220 sophomore, 61 tackles, 16 tackles for loss. Could he possibly be a defensive end?
Got amazing
Possibly.
strength. Let's see. Let's analyze this. Whoa, why is his juke move so high?
Yo, his juke move is higher than Nico Smoke. That's crazy. Power high, finesse move.
He probably could be a defensive end, man.
So that might be a little, because even if you think about it from, let's say you did run like the only way that I won't play him at defensive end is because of the depth. We got two middle linebackers behind him. So if we do put him at defensive end, do we change the defense to make it be 3-4 probably? Add like some type of element. So let's say you have Charles on one side, we got Big Philly on the other side. You got the star defensive tackle, All American, but then you got Taylor on the outside, kind of like in a Von Miller type of role.
That's interesting.
And
That's real interesting.
maybe it could work, but let's go to his tackle, because yes he had like 16 tackles for loss, but is he gonna be able to tackle these running backs that come with that come in the ACC with these games?
Right.
That's my worry. That's my worry with him at backer. I don't really have to worry about that at defensive end, because he can, if he's in that Von Miller role, all you got to do is worry about blitzing. But with the adjustments and stuff that you make a lot of times, the reason why I wanted to know, he has high hit power,
Yeah.
but because his tackle is so low, I'm just envisioning in my mind you trying to hit stick, and it's just like he just bounces off. The running back bounces off, or the wide receiver bounces off. I wouldn't want that to happen. But where he would come in super clutch is with screens, reading out the screens, being able to like lock him up and put him on a tight end, maybe, and use him to the best of his ability. But because the depth is so it's so tight right now, it's kind of like a tough decision. So it basically would be what you think.
Yeah, it's. Hey, what's good, Scary? It's definitely a difficult decision because his speed is a little lower than I would want at linebacker, even though he will be kind of sneaky fast with the 94 acceleration, 55 awareness. Let's just see something. I wish I could have examined this in the changes, the position changes.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. That's why that is so important too, because if you make the right position changes in the offseason, you kind of solidified your depth chart, so you don't have to worry about that when we get to this point.
Right.
Because you have the right people in the right positions to succeed.
So I'm interested to see the rest of this linebacking core. That middle linebacker, Jason Dickens, look like he's definitely my type of linebacker. Yo.
He's not even the starter. Goodness gracious. He's not even the starter. He has 97.
I got a decision to make, bro. I gotta look at this. All right, so he's had 2 back-to-back productive years, man.
He had 26 tackles for loss this year. Well, 26 tackles for loss 2020. That's a ton, bro. So that means that he is like anticipation on another level, instincts on another level, similar to your other left outside linebacker. Both of them are highly instinctive players. We will want the left outside linebacker to be faster, but obviously it didn't really matter that much for him to have 16 tackles for loss. So, obviously the tackle is, solid, hit power solid. Block shedding. What is this block shedding? Why do I feel goodness. 91. That's the reason why he probably has that many tackle for losses. Block shedding. So now it's a tough situation. Like, do you start Dickerson? But this is kind of not tough. The reason why, the only tough decision would be is not who do I start, but which defense do I run?
The 3-4 is starting to become interesting. When I play Madden, a 3-4 is pretty much my base defense. I love it because even if somebody isn't like because there's people who like to get in like spread formations, kind of similar to what we do, like a 2x2 set. But still run the ball. They'll still run inside zone heavy on Madden. So that's in 3-4. If your linebackers are fast enough, if you play the right zone, you can still cover a 4 wide receiver set. But still make sure you're stopping the run, because that's what they're really trying to do. One of my biggest issues with NCAA is I haven't learned how to play zone. That's one. And then 2, if the cornerback is in a position to make a play, on a black set, a lot of times computer is not gonna make that play. You got to make that play for him. I'll click over and I'll move him out the way, because I can click on him, still kind of move the way I want to, strafe at the last minute, pick it off. This joint, you gotta like click on them, not really strafe it, just hold. It's weird. Like, you gotta hold the ball hawk button. Like, it's weird as hell, bro. But that 3-4 is looking a lot more interesting. Let's see who we got at right outside linebacker.
This might be the done deal.
So,
his plus side though, he's 70 overall. He's a sophomore, so with that being said, he's the only right outside linebacker, pure outside linebacker that we have. So he's going to come in as a sophomore, getting play time through the roof. His hit power could be more desired. Tackling could be more desired. Power moves more desired. Finesse moves more desired. Block shedding. Pursuit. Yeah. But
his play recognition is high as hell. Yo, he's got 83 man coverage.
I didn't even peep that until now. You really could.
Hold on.
It makes you think a lot.
God damn. His pursuit is amazing as well. They're both seniors though. Like I feel like we gotta fill this middle linebacker void next season. This guy looks like London Fletcher, 5'9", 233.
Honestly, what I'm feeling, KT, is this. I would put Dickens at, since Dickens is slightly faster. Slightly
is he
faster.
Though?
Not from the standpoint of speed, but not as far as acceleration, because that 97 acceleration is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine having 97 acceleration in the box and usury. That's tough. So I would keep Dickens starting middle linebacker.
Dickens is starting middle linebacker over Ty Williams?
Yes, and then put Williams as the left. Is it the left or the right? The right linebacker. So they both are playing. They both are starting as seniors. Going out. I would, because Dickens is getting so much play time, I would highly consider redshirting that 70 overall right outside linebacker.
Got you.
Who is it? Fox? Wait, what? Was it Fox? Or
I forgot his name. Hold on.
He just disappeared.
Pearson.
Oh, yeah, Pearson.
Bruce Pearson. My man Highlight Green in the building. What's going on? So we redshirting Pearson.
Yeah, I would redshirt Pearson. That way, he probably gets his starting position, and then also that's one less linebacker that I have to recruit next year.
So,
as far as,
just so we can kind of organize our thoughts as we move along, because we came here just so we can kind of figure out the team needs, which you kind of would have told you anyway. But middle linebacker is a gaping hole for next season. Pearson, how well do you think he could develop? Because I know you kind of have an algorithm for how these players will develop. So he's a sophomore now. He'll be a sophomore next year, maybe +4. Junior, maybe plus another 3 or 4. You're at 77. So maybe his ceiling is probably like an 84, maybe
84, probably 85.
Yeah,
back 6. If he progresses and he has like a +6, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not. Where is he from? Where's Pearson from?
Let me check.
It would be tough, because the reason why I asked where he's from is because I gotta factor in pipeline states too, and I don't want to cut him, assuming that I know his state. If I know his state, and if it happens to be a pipeline state, I don't want to cut him. I just deal with the progression, but I just have to know that I have to recruit a linebacker next year that's probably better than Pearson. So it's either this. I can either redshirt Pearson, and just hope that he progresses, or maybe let's just say +4. He progresses +4, so that will take him to a 74 overall.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still not going to be better than either a gym linebacker or a high recruit. So I would put my eggs in the basket of going high recruit and just bringing another player, and then possibly next year when we looking back at it, if Pearson hasn't increased his overall, then I would consider cutting him, just because he's last. When you were doing the changes, he was last at the very bottom in the depth chart as far as linebackers. It's gonna come in handy next year because we're gonna need depth, especially with middle linebacker. But it's a tough call.
It's definitely a tough call, and shout out to YXB Swag. He just came in the building. He said, but we tapped in on this right now. He said, get your notepad. Exactly. Exactly. Get your notepad. Because this information, man. Moon Vibes giving y'all game for free. You know what I'm saying? So. All right, so right now, I think my biggest area of concern moving forward is definitely the linebacking core. We do have some gems here. Ty Williams and Dickens, I will be losing next year.
The linebacking core is a big central
Taylor,
need.
I think Taylor will be a great middle.
He's gonna progress nicely next year.
I would like to see how would he fare at middle linebacker. Even though I would have wished he had more awareness. Let me see what his play recognition is. He don't tackle well enough, so he'll have to stay on the outside. I may even be moving him to lineman, bro. So I'm gonna write down left outside linebacker, middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker are definitely. I need to make sure.
It is a concern.
Yeah.
Recruiting.
Yes.
So we gotta factor that in when we were doing the board too.
That's it. That's the best part of. Whoa! I want to play this shit now, man. Yeah.
Jay, wow.
So, if I remember correctly, it correct me if I'm wrong, because I know Jalen remembers, and I know you remember Moon Vibes. Out of these corners, the best corner was Crash for Press. Like, as far as consistency, my man, YSB Swag with the big body host. Look at this. They're all seniors.
All of them.
So, but let me see if I got some freshmen. So, he's red-shirted. He's getting his name changed. Somebody remind me to do that after we finish looking at these.
Right. I'm gonna write it down
Damian
right
Hudson.
now.
Damian Hudson.
What you could do? You know what this might be the year. This might be the year where you could do this. You could, if you feel like it, take Damian Hudson out of quarterback. And maybe, just maybe, we can skip CB right now because that just looks like it's solidified. We're gonna have to worry about them recruiting and bringing in next year because we guys. So you can just write them down as a position of concern.
Gotcha.
Like literally, that's like what you can ask for. That's like a Christmas.
Bro, just imagine like just manning up with this lineup, bro, and then all of the fucking gameplay joints we got, like they man coverage is high, bro.
But the thing that we gotta say though, I don't know why, but certain formations on defense, let's say you running 5 wide, let's say one of my favorite defenses is 3-3-5. But let's just say for those people that do like to run 4-2-5, or they like to run nickel 2-2-4-5, or some weird things like dime 2-3-6, that linebacker who is either the left outside linebacker or the right outside linebacker, one of them is not on the field in those sets. So that is something that we have to know, because if we are using these CBs in the secondary to their core, and we can play dime, we can play dollar, we can play and get a lot of speed on the field, we're going to have to substitute some of these CBs and these safeties for a linebacker. So we might not even need to play what's his name, Pearson, or we might not even have to pay him. We might could just focus on the 2 senior linebackers. Right. And
that's a great point. That's a great point. And even Pearson, with the dime 3-2-6, your outside linebacker goes to the line, so we could be utilizing him in the way that we wanted to. Anyway, even though we got elite DNs, but you can get creative. Like, you can blitz, you can spy him. You know what I'm saying? It's so much you can do. My man K Bizzle in the building. What's good, Playboy? Joel says that's the perfect cornerback group for my scheme. Holy shit, hey. Exactly, bro. Exactly. So let's move right along. My free safety is amazing. I'ma actually change my free safety name to Joel, give me a name for the free safety, bro. We can even name him after you, bro. Gotta change. But this free safety is fast as hell, bro. Fast.
That's what clutch.
Bro, like I think he's like 99 speed, 90. Let me look at his
Imagine-
JUCO because he might end up being a kick returner as well. Nah, his JUCO spin is kind of low.
Imagine running cover one Robert and manning up everybody on the field, and then just
And just
using
using
everything with him. That's tough.
All
That's
right.
super tough.
So I think we've come to a point where how creative do we want to be?
Super creative.
We
And that's
got
the reason
I
my point-
redshirted him last year, so I got a freshman here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I bump him up the depth chart? I told you how dope Chris Perez is. He will be 92 there. Where is or 90 there? What is user pick here? User pick's only 82 at strong safety. How would you maneuver that? Would you just leave everything as is?
Bro, I would be trying to go for the juggler.
Or would you try to
juggler.
find a way to incorporate Caldwell? I like Caldwell's speed, man. Let me see if he can tackle that off.
Your best safety, mark my words, your best safety is playing quarterback. This is where you asked me how creative you want to get. I'm taking Irby, and I'm starting Irby.
You starting Irby over McNeil?
I'm starting Irby over McNeil, and I'm putting McNeil on strong safety. Not McNeil. Who am I? I'm talking about Hudson. I'm putting Hudson at strong safety.
So if you remember, my apologies for cutting you off. I pulled his red shirt late in the year last year. We got to think back because this is.
It was a while.
We talked about a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was efficient, bro. He was very efficient. He could run the rock as well. We ended up winning the Natty with him at starting quarterback later on. So do you start him? Because he can also play corner as well, defense as well. Because his man coverage, I was looking at that earlier. I was like, God damn, I didn't realize that. And his arm is stronger than Herb Dottie's as well. Herb Dottie was just accurate. But look at this. So how do you deal with that? So who do we start at quarterback, chat? Do you go with Herb Dottie? Do you go with BP McNeil? And then Hudson. See, this is where I wish I would have just changed the position, bro, and had and changed Hudson to like another position.
Man, if Hudson is strong safety, your secondary is beyond elite. And I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, keep Hudson at quarterback," but you saw in the short time last year in the last season that we had, when we did have him on defense and free him up all over the field to just be a play. He can be kick returner. He can be punt returner. He can do more. So although he may win the quarterback battle, Herb Dottie and who is it? Not Hudson. McNeil is the quarterback that actually won the first Natty. So he's proven just as much. But I just say this: I'm trying to have as much speed on the field possible. With Hudson, he is 6'3", 220, running 90 with 98 acceleration, with 98 speed. You cannot teach that on the defensive side of the ball. So it does not matter who. He's going to be the best player on your defense, even beyond the cornerbacks that you have. Even if his zone coverage is not as high, just because he's just a pure athlete, he's going to be there where you need it. It's a risk automatically.
So do you put him at free or strong?
Strong. He's 6'3". I'm leaving you. I'm changing his user. I'm changing the Howell. I'm putting Howell at strong safety and leaving him. I'm not gonna change it, but because he's there, he's already fast. But imagine having the ability to have two safeties that are elite as far as speed on your team, and then you'll be starting McNeil, and it's not like it's a big drop off because you know that McNeil, his overall may be at 85, but he plays like a 95 overall for some strange reason. Decisions.
I remember Prez being an excellent return guy.
You think he's a better returner than Hudson?
No, I don't think anybody's a better returner than Hudson. He said, "Oh hell no, you about to have 24 awareness." Patrick Star at free safety. His awareness is 24 at free safety. I mean, that's
wait,
strong.
who's he talking about? Hudson?
Oh,
Oh, bruh, I would. That's why I said it's a risk.
Mhm.
It's a risk. But honestly, who is gonna? I don't want to get into the season and having 3 quarterbacks on my roster that can all start, and now I got to try to figure out who to play. And we've seen before, Hudson is injury prone. It's not like he. This is facts. He's injury prone. He missed the first season with the Natty. Like, come on. So if we have to factor that in, but yes, it's a risk for having 24 overall, 24 awareness. But the only reason that is because we're doing it in the depth chart. If we would have made this decision as far as the position changes later in the year, earlier in the year when we were doing position changes, then it would have been a different thing.
Hey, that is hilarious. Wow. So
that's why I would use him. He would be the player on my defense that I use her because I can make up for the horrible awareness.
Right. Let me see something, because I remember that Hudson had like 1,000 yards rushing.
Anywhere that he goes, he's instantly the best athlete at every position. This man had stats.
Yo,
he's a running back. Maybe.
Yeah, he pretty much started at running back last year through formation subs. He had a pick last year, dog.
Yeah, I do remember that pick. He had a pick. I forgot which game it was. I know it was a home game though.
Jesus Christ, bro.
His return numbers is ridiculous. 4 touchdowns, kick return. You cannot teach that.
Chat, where y'all putting Hudson at?
This is a good conversation that we get to have.
Where are we putting our best athlete at? And I'm about to give Jalen credit, man, and I don't like giving Jalen no damn credit, man. But Jalen always called him Braxton Miller, man. But I feel like this is his Braxton Miller year. Like, get to become an athlete. He's not gonna be a quarterback in the pros. Unless he's drafted by the Ravens or some shit. Do we put him at running back? Do we leave him at strong safety? Cause I feel like Smoke had a good year last year.
With running quarterbacks in NCAA, when it comes to getting drafted, when I was at Duke, I had a 99 overall quarterback who won the Heisman, similar to Hudson. Maybe not back to back, but he won the Heisman, and he didn't even get drafted.
You know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do with Hudson. He's not starting nowhere. I think through formation subs, we will see his real overall.
Yeah. He's not going to show you right now in depth chart. Jalen sat on the bench.
Of course. So, we gonna figure this shit out through formation subs. Cause I remember last year. Oh man, I forgot I gotta change my offense. Cause we was running that Baylor playbook, I think.
Yeah.
So I like the spread. I think Oregon is probably my favorite book though.
Yeah, it's elements. If you love Oregon, then I feel like you would really love the spread option playbook.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Oregon on steroids. But it's more of the read option, more of the spread, more of the wide receiver options, more of the screens, things like that. Just in the spread option. But as far as, Hudson, you can really be like how I said, the Swiss Army knife for your team. So it's kind of like plug and play. Wherever you need an athlete for this specific game, he can be there.
Where is to change your coach's playbook and all of that shit? Coach philosophy.
Coach
I'm bugging. All right, so I'm a. You said spread option.
Yeah, you can do spread option. Whoa, wait. Who are we starting at quarterback?
I'm starting McNeil at quarterback.
McNeil? Then I would say go Oregon.
All right. Yeah, and that's not the original McNeil. That's his little brother. Backpack McNeil.
Backpack.
BP McNeil, yeah, so. Boom.
Hey, Jalen. We don't want to hear you talk that noise about
Hey, Jalen, you was messing with Irby at one point, man. Because we very sure that McNeil wasn't even his name. And then I think you gave him the name like, Young, we need to go ahead. Hold on. Before I even do what I was about to do, we got to fix something. What we naming this strong safety, man? I mean, it's free safety.
Yo, Howell, what's your first name? what you want to
Right. Yeah, nah, you start. Okay, you do remember that. Yeah, you started the Irby train. What number look nice on a safety, man? And ain't really no numbers out there, man. You have to. Got 33. Yeah, 41. What number, man?
That 41 kind of look kind of cold.
Yeah.
Ward Howell. Congratulations, Howell. You just got your first. I think this is your first player that's named.
Yeah. Yep. Jersey number? 41 good. All right, bet. Cool. So we made that change. All right. So now I'm gonna go to formation subs. And I know this wasn't part of the originally part of what we were gonna cover tonight, but I think it's an interesting conversation because in order to add more recruits to the board, we need to figure out where we at. All right. So I'm gonna go to defense first. And y'all gonna see the difference in when you utilize formation subs versus putting them there normally.
On your depth chart.
Yeah. So punt return normal. Boom, he's already there. He should be there on kick return too. Field goal block return. I bet he's already there. I ain't mean to do that.
Yeah.
So boom. So our base formation. Spread flex. What do we do with McNeil? Do we take Nico Smoke out? Also, I hope Mason Too Nice is doing all right, man. I haven't heard from him. I don't know if any of you guys have, but he was the guy that named Nico Smoke.
So the question is, what we doing with Nico?
Yeah, like, do I take him out this formation because this is the bread and butter of our offense? Do I put Hudson here at running back?
I think you put Hudson because he's just you can't teach that speed, and it's just that's the base formation, and we see his running back yardage and numbers over the years.
So like, just to give y'all some perspective, if I put Hudson at running back now, his overall gonna be high 50s or low 60s. His awareness via formation subs is still gonna be at 99. His awareness still is going to be at 99. He is he's even with me playing him at all those crazy positions last year, he still won the Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
This man had 4 kick return touchdowns.
Yeah. So boom. So let's go through a lot of our bread and butter. So we like spread, flex a lot. Spread offset. I feel like we should probably leave. Should we leave Nico there? I feel like we should leave him there. All right. So. Also, I'm a big fan of what that joint at? It's one of the 4 wide receiver jumps. Here, Definitely putting him in there. But it's another joint that I'm running. All right, it's this one. So now I gotta ask Moon Vibes this. Travis Ross, we put him in the slot for a reason. Cause you know in this formation, it's a 2-play combo I like to run. I like to run the little, I forgot the name of the play, but it's like he does a weird out route. It's not the standard out, but it's like a, all right. But then also you got the motion, the little the option motion. So do we leave him there because for route running purposes he's the best option there?
Yeah.
Do we put Hudson here? Like, how would you do it?
I would put.
Got
Hudson
you, Wags. What would you put him at? Would you put him where Washington is? Just so he's like on the field.
Put Hudson where number 82 is, wide side on the wide side, singled up by himself. And the reason why is because if we just look at speed alone, there's no corner in the nation that's going to be able to check him, and that's the second best corner. There's no number 2 corner that's going to be able to check him at all. So even if with that formation, with that out route that you said that you like a lot, he can just be multi-purpose.
Got you.
So I would put him there for that formation, but I got to keep Nico Smoke right there just because the formation alignment with Nico Smoke, he's automatically going downhill. Because he's kind of off center. He's not like directly behind, or he's not like to the side. So he's handing it off. When you look at the handoff, he's going automatically downhill. So that's Nico Smoke's area. That's what he does best, going downhill. But Hudson on the outside.
Isolated. Got you. Another formation. I love the run. Boom. Where do we put Hudson?
Twins.
Yeah. Who runs that halfback counter, man?
That's tough, man.
Yeah, who runs that? Hey, yeah, Ross was a demon, Jalen. And I didn't even pass a lot back there. Like, now I would be passing so much more. I kind of want to play this dynasty again, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this, the purpose of this is for the masterclass. But damn, I would love to play this now. If just for one game, I just gotta see this in motion. So, couple questions here. Do we leave Nico smoking to run that counter we like to run? There's also a post route like that. Like I like to run with the quarterback. Does what's the name? Does an angle route too. So do we put him at quarterback here? Because there's also a quarterback power from this formation. The read option.
I would say quarterback.
Quarterback
because of that formation or what the plays in that formation are. That quarterback power is nasty. That.
Hey man, shout out to Scary, man. Hey bro, let me tell y'all why I mess with Scary, man. Scary called me the Jim Harbaugh of NCAA, dog. That shit bothered me. To this day, it bothered me that I could not win a natty with Florida A&M. Now, I would do a rebuild, something similar to what Moon Vibes is doing, but I'm not doing another team builder rebuild. Negative.
It's just brutal. It's just too brutal.
Negative.
But what Hudson, I gotta put him right there in that formation at QB, just in case. Just imagine having that power, like that QB power. But even if they have a read option in that formation too. So and then it's not like you can't throw.
Right.
So they have smash in that formation. They have post in that formation. HB screens in that formation too. So I would just keep it like that. But
let me go through this.
What other formation? It's one more.
It's one of them I want to put them at the slot at. I don't know if it's this one. No, it's not that one. Because it's another formation with the wide receiver option. Because I know it's in that one formation I remember. It's in another one as well. And it might be normal.
I think it is normal.
Is it spread halfback week? It might be spread halfback week.
Oh wow! So now you got a situation where you got Ross in the slot. You got Brown on the outside. Don't sleep on Brown. Brown got 95 speed. Then you got that tight end. That's where. Oh, that's not even a tight end. That's Washington. I'm tripping. Okay.
I think it's this formation. So my best athletes are in the inside. That's dangerous.
That's super dangerous
against mismatches. Mismatches.
But even still, I think they have bubble screens in that formation too. I think they have. I want to say it's bubble screen. They have an HP screen in that one too. Ken Hudson giving me a block downfield. I would like to say he could.
Yeah, definitely.
He might not be able to hold it for all day, but he'll get in the way with him being 6'3".
He's just an athlete. So y'all know me. And season 2 of Masterclass, we want to deep dive into these books. Just to give y'all a preview. And like offensively and defensively, I kind of run 2 defenses. That's not good. Like NCAA on the black set, bro, you gonna get exposed playing just 2 defenses, man. Where do I put him here? Is here where I should put Hudson at strong safety? Because I run this formation a lot.
Yeah, you run this formation so much.
Would he be better fit at he don't tackle well enough to be an outside linebacker.
But he is fast enough to get into the backfield because even if you think about it, that formation with 2 men under, there's always one extra. There's one linebacker that's always blitzing. So maybe we put Hudson there. That's always blitzing, and just either we just man him up or do whatever you need to do with him, whether it's QB spot. Whether it's
Oh yeah, because this is who I normally use in this formation. I normally use this player right here. Hey, Jimmy 2 Blunts, they must be getting cooked out there, man. Hey, the real King Potatoes in the building, man. What's going on, brother? So where would be your best suggestion to put him? And we gotta keep in mind that Ty Williams can't come off the field. So do I move him to right outside linebacker?
Yeah,
actually, it'll be the right of screen linebacker, but the left outside linebacker.
Yeah, so Ty Williams will be what Taylor is.
Gotcha.
And then we can just try out Hudson right there in that slot. That way you're just using him whatever you want to do. So that can be man up.
They'll let you put a quarterback here.
That's tough.
I bet so. I'll just put I'll put him at strong safety. And then here's where I want to get Moon Vibes perspective on, because it's something that he's taught me, because I run this formation a lot too, and I actually have his character. I had his character in my Illinois dynasty playing this role. So it's difficult because sometimes I play man out of this, but a lot of times I'm blitzing. So do I put
playing cover 2, blitzing the 2 outside?
The DB Fire, I think, is the name of it.
Yeah. So now you're thinking putting Hudson in one of those roles?
Yeah, probably what Krez is, and then moving Krez to safety because of his awareness, or even moving him to the outside and putting like Cameron Rice at safety.
I actually like that a lot, dog. Like I really do like that a lot. And the reason why I say is because he's blitzing, you do whatever you want to do with him.
Exactly.
So whether that's putting him in zone, if you feel like they're about to do like an out route, and he has the ability to take it to the crib if he does get a pick.
Right.
But having Krez at the back end is kind of like you're helping nothing get past him. So it's kind of like a safe haven in the back Now, if I had Hudson where Krez is, then that would be kind of worried because like you playing cover 2
Right.
a lot at
Right.
DB Fire. So I trust that Krez will be able to get over there and help us at
This
that
is the
linebacker.
beauty. This is the beauty of formation subs. You get to see people's true overalls. What was they saying his overall was at linebacker when we tried this earlier? Low 60s, I think.
Yeah, like low 60s.
So we know moving forward, he doesn't take a big drop going from linebacker to I think what, like -3. After you move him there, you add training, like you have a demon at end. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put him here. I like my D tackle. I wonder if I want to move Philly there.
What if you put Charles right there?
Charles
in the middle. So put Charles in the middle. It's where Hart is. I know Hart is good, but like go to their block setting real quick. You see just who has the higher block setting.
Between the linebackers, got you.
Wow, it's kind of even. Dang. They were not showing this as their overalls, I promise, when
Nah, they weren't.
That's a tough call, man.
Are they gonna let me put Charles here?
They might not.
So I got Charles. Oh no, they will.
Is it because he's already starting?
Bruh.
His finesse move is 98. Bro, imagine running that blitz, that DB Fire, and then like using Charles just to get him, or you don't even have to use him. He just getting off the block anyway, so it's added more pressure. So you're getting pressure from the outside and from the middle.
Whoa.
That's tough.
Joel just asked a very interesting question, and I'm gonna let Jalen answer it, but I will read it. Does formation subs show their points from coordinator boost?
I don't even know. That's one question I do not know.
Bro, we gonna have to do some investigating. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But I know that they show for a fact, altered overall and altered ratings. But if they did, that would be so cold.
So I know this is something.
Because now that's a totally different conversation. Because let's say I have it maxed out where like my players are getting a four overall speed boost. Their acceleration is getting a +4 speed boost. That kind of changes the game for players like number 58. Gotta keep forgetting his name. He said, "Yeah, you have to do that in game though. Would be a pain." Yeah, that is. So who do we put in that role as far as the blitzer?
In the dime?
Yeah.
Let me see. Dime 326. So it's
that's Hudson.
Hudson, yep. And then a Caldwell who got decent speed, and then we got Krez and Krez for Prez and Joel back there.
Even if Damian Hudson cannot tackle, he's still gonna be in the backfield in like a second.
ASAP, right?
So he's gonna disrupt the play regardless. And with NCAA 14 on black set, sometimes your best friend is just game tackling.
I was doing something interesting with this 3-4 odd. So I moved Krez to Mike on here.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I got Hudson at safety.
Hudson
And I'm gonna use a Krez, of course. All right. Boom. So we looked at the roster. We got the people we want in the positions that we needed them in. So now we can go back to finish setting up this recruiting board. And kind of, so the biggest areas of need were middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker, and cornerback. And let's see if our team needs matches what we thought we needed. And I think they won't.
Quarterback, tackle, that's offense.
Alrighty. And so we already got some athletes on the recruiting board. So boom. So we got middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker, cornerback, quarterback, and tackle. Our biggest areas of need. So move on. How would you attack this?
I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I've been trying to get him to try out 3-3-5, bro. That's my favorite defense, period, like ever. But the base defense. But as far as what you just said about recruiting,
1 second. Let me add that to the playbook. But yeah, so while I go configure the playbook, I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out. So yeah, we got our biggest areas of need is middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker, cornerback, quarterback, and tackle. So I know via recruiting, a lot of times you would just like position to position. You know what I'm saying? Like you add the quarterback, see how interested they are. Ones you don't need, you drop. How do you want to attack this, knowing that we have 6 areas of need, and how would you rate these areas as well? So in the meantime, I'm going to add the formation y'all were talking about.
Well, quarterback is probably going to be at the bottom because even I keep wanting to say Hudson. McNeil is a sophomore, so he's going to be there. Dottie, I think he's a junior. Hudson's leaving. So, yes, it's important to get there, but it's not as high as which is my number one. My number one need right now is middle linebacker. And after middle linebacker is CB.
Okay.
After CB, it will be tackle.
Okay.
And then after tackle, left outside linebacker. And then we get what else was it? Quarterback.
And then right outside linebacker.
Right outside linebacker will probably be last. And that's just, I'm saying that just because of the scheme that you run and tailor to it. But the top 2, middle linebacker and corner, we got 3 cornerbacks leaving and then 2 middle linebackers leaving too. So we can always put some type of you can do it either one or 2 ways. You can have the recruiting board filled for you to help out what your team needs, or you can do it yourself. I choose to do it myself because a lot of times I don't like what the computer picks up and who they find. So I just do it like that. So if we go back to all prospects, this is where we start filtering. We gotta. That's tough. He's second interested. Bench press 425. Squat 520. But this dude right here that you're on right now, his squat is 720. That doesn't make any sense.
Damn.
It's tough because he's from Florida. He's probably has his interests probably are conference prestige. It's also proximity to home. That's what I'm just guessing is too. Proximity to home, program tradition, pro potential. So that makes sense. If we add him to our board, we just got to know that we're probably going to be we're not going to probably make it in his top 6. And there's a possibility that he might not be able to, we can unlock him as many times, but he's probably still not going to go to our school. We in Annapolis, Maryland. But him, West Virginia, Navy.
All green.
5'10", 228. His height kind of worries me a little bit, but that's just only because I like taller middle linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Program tradition, proximity to home. He's in DC, so that's home, local talent. Yeah, I would add him to my board ASAP. He's 70 overall, and we can bank and hope that maybe he
could be a gem.
He could be a gem.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I'd say there's a right there. He runs a 4.48. The guy below him, but he's from Cali. He probably has high interest in program tradition or conference prestige. Yep.
Yeah.
Program tradition.
You named him.
So, and I can just tell that based on the schools that he picked: Virginia Tech, Auburn, Florida, and the SEC. Virginia Tech, they got a solid program tradition, despite them, with the whole Natty situation. But yeah, I just kind of guessed I would add him, even though he just missed out, and I said all green. But because we need that, because he's such a high need, I would kind of sacrifice. And it's a bonus that he only has 4 schools that's interested in him, so we can make it into his top 5. So I would add him. Scout him. If he's not up to par as far as scouting, then maybe we get rid of him and not really focus on it.
All right.
But that's what I would look at. The goal would be to try to replace the players that's leaving with at least 4-star talent.
Okay.
So if I can, that's the strategy. I guess that I should have answered that at the beginning. If we can recruit and replace our players, so let's say 3 4-star, 5-star cornerbacks, 3 linebacker, middle and left, all 4 stars. That's solid as hell. We can't go wrong with that. And there's nothing against 3 stars, but they're gonna come in and play like right off the bat.
It's a lot of 4 stars linebacker. Okay, so I guess that's where it ends.
I haven't seen a linebacker that's in this range right here that's slower than 4.7. I mean, yeah, they're slower than 4.7. He's interesting too. And that's where it comes to the board. You can put those 2 3-stars on the board too, and then those are like the backups that, because they are first interested in you, you don't even have to add any bonus points. They'll probably still end up coming to your school anyway. So you still feel the need, but you'll still have a 4-star that you put in all your points to.
Yeah, there will probably be insta commits. All I can hope is that one of them is Jim.
Yeah. Rayshawn Jones coverage. And Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith might be a gem. Think about it. Look at his top schools. Playing time is kind of altered, but that's under the assumption that what we have right now. Right. They constantly change. But the fact that Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Georgia, Clemson, and Auburn are interested in him is kind of like ding, 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 ding. Mm-hmm. What do they know that we don't know?
Right. And he's not too far.
He in the VA, so that's right up the road. His family can come to the games. Now, this is where the scouting goes crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of look and see what we had. So I know we had plenty of athletes. So I feel like the quarterback we can kind of take off the list because at least 2 of them will probably be quarterbacks. So middle linebacker we covered. So now we got cornerback, tackle, left outside linebacker. Mm-hmm. So did you want to go look at that, or did you want to come look and see how some of their scouting was first?
Well, I'm saying since he looks like a quarterback, right? Bryson Williams. Mm-hmm. We can keep him on the roster. Do you want to keep him or let him go? because we can scout him to see what he is, but we got to remember that you only get 20 players to scout this
Right,
first
right.
week. So I guess we want to make those count as much as possible. If I know that he's a quarterback, then I'm not probably going to.
He might be a
But
corner.
yeah, Joey, he looks like a corner. Man coverage, play recognition high.
Juke move is high, elusiveness is high, spin move is high. Possibly a receiver.
I don't say receiver just because his release is so low.
And his route running is low.
Spectacular catch is C. His catching traffic is a D. Return is a D. But his pursuit C. Tackle D.
Whoa. So should we scout him?
I wouldn't scout him right now.
Okay. So I should have probably started at Pierre.
He looks like another quarterback too. So now we in a situation
He's
where
a quarterback or receiver.
Yeah, we get to a situation now where it's kind of like, all right, well, we need a QB, but it's not as high priority.
Right.
Because we know these players are interested, do we just don't scout them but keep them on the board and just add more? That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Just focus on scouting the middle linebackers and everything else first. Or just focus on the team needs. So I just wouldn't make it less difficult on us.
Gotcha.
We could just start with the middle linebackers. And maybe if one of them just happens to be a gem, we can possibly move and change their position in the offseason and change them to a left outside linebacker or right, so that we still feel the need.
That's crazy. So should we scout these linebackers to see if any of them are a gem?
It makes
and
me
I think you had a feeling that
perfect.
Steve Smith was going to be a gem.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
So let's scout him.
Oh, dang, Steve, you hurt my soul, man. Steve, that's not good. Wow. So Andrew Cook is technically the better player.
Andrew Cook is not bad.
He's
not
okay,
bad at all.
If we take into fact his spark rating is 73, his overall 69, so 70 borderline.
Moving him to outside linebacker, possibly.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that would definitely.
His block shedding is, really dope too. As far as coming in on campus, his block shedding is really dope. But you can't teach that acceleration. You can't just teach him being an athlete. So what we was just talking about, just when we was talking about with Pearson, he's kind of like a Pearson 2.0, where we might have to worry about his hit power and things like that, but yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be the number 7 rated middle linebacker for no reason. But that's what bothers me is the weekly points.
Right.
The weekly points bothers me a lot, actually, because it's not over 300. I try to keep players on my board that's 300 points or more. But because he's not, and he's on borderline, but because his speed is so high, it's kind of like, okay, it makes me want to take a look at Crenshaw. Wow.
Oh, hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. You gotta go, Holmes.
It can't be.
He gotta go.
But before he goes, though, he's actually a better player than Steve Smith. But he's a bust, so there's gonna be some type of voodoo going on with NCAA to make him not speed. But I can't. Yeah, he can go. All of these middle linebackers can go. Honestly, none of them really impressed me.
All right, so we got one more to look at.
Yeah, I was trying to salvage Crenshaw just to see, like, maybe he's not that bad, but I can't add bust. There's just something about them in NCAA 14. What is up with these backers? This is not impressive.
All
So
right.
all of these are 4 stars, right?
Yeah.
Besides Smith.
So I'm gonna keep Cook on there. Sean Jones would be a project. I feel like. Yeah, exactly. Oh well. So I don't know how I feel about him. Will he make the team?
That 57 zone coverage, knowing that if he is in that role, what that you like to use, when we put that linebacker in a hook, or or spy, he'll come in handy if he's in the spy, but maybe not so much in the hook.
Right.
I can't count on him to tackle. I can't really count on him to diagnose the play. He's probably gonna come on campus and be a red shirt automatically.
Yeah. And
but he's
and possibly a borderline cut.
Yeah, borderline cut. He's 60. But my formula of it, Cook is the only one that can stay just because his overall is over 65, 66. I don't add players usually if I'm trying to rebuild. I don't add players that's under 65 because I just don't think that they're gonna. Yeah, a linebacker with 69 tackles.
Hey, what's good, Tyler White boy? So yes, I'm gonna remove everybody else.
But this is the process that we go through with recruiting. That's why you might find some 3 stars that might be. Cook was the only 3-star, right?
I believe so. I believe Cook was a 3-star.
Oh, he's 4.
I bet. So now will we go down the list and look at even more linebackers?
Yeah, I say we add in how many more recruiting points we got? So 800. So that is technically about 14 more people that we can scout.
Yeah.
So I said 14, really 16.
Yeah, because you said 20 originally, so
yeah,
that makes sense. We only scouted 4.
So I can't even do the linebackers right now. My head can't take it. So I say let's go to cornerback and like maybe there's some gems over there, and maybe we can change our misfortune. But middle linebacker is not where it's at the top of the.
I feel like corners are always good.
Yeah, you can find some. Them 3 corners right there though. 4-3-8, 4-4-2, 4-4-4.
I got a feeling one of them gonna be a gem. Let's dive in a little deeper.
2 of them could be a gem. You can't teach A+ speed, Adam. I would add.
That was easy.
Honestly, I would add all 3 of them.
That was easy.
And we could just go scout them right now.
That was easy.
Number 2. 4.26. You can't teach the speed. Proximity to home.
Yikes.
And you see how all of it with proximity to home. I don't know if y'all noticing this, but just like that other, I think it was a linebacker that had proximity to home as one of their top 2 highest interests. They usually have schools that are in their proximity. It's kind of self-explanatory, but I feel like I need to point it out because his top 3 schools are SMU, Houston, and Texas. So if I add him to my board, it's kind of like, what's the point? He's not going to really leave.
Look at that. Look at that.
All Texas schools. It's besides OSU.
Which is close. Close enough.
Stillwater. Dang, he does not want to leave Mama's Cooking for real.
Yeah, he don't, man.
Number 90, 434. Yeah, we could pass on him. Jackson's 432. Florida boy. Miami. You in the top 5? Please be green. Mike and Adam. We just gotta cross our fingers and hope that it's not like the middle linebackers how it was.
Right. So boom, I like what we got so far. So we can go.
I'm excited because I think like 2 of these gonna be gems. I just got a feeling.
Which one y'all want to look at first?
I guess the lowest overall one first. So Palmer.
I think Irons is going to be a gem. That's my guess.
Irons. He's pushed down 1.
Damn.
Oh.
There we go.
So Cody Clement is definitely staying.
And I believe we're his first option. Yes.
Yep. Definitely.
Yes.
Over Michigan, Ohio State, Florida.
So we can
Alabama.
definitely spend some points on them too before we advance the week. I think he can possibly be an instant commit.
Yeah, he's number 1. Man, he's coming out of the gate with 82 zone coverage, 94 acceleration. His tackling could be a little bit better, but his play recognition makes up for it.
Right.
He's like a coverage corner, but at the same time, he know how to fly to the ball. So, Clement, 73 overall coming in. That's what we was just talking about. We're replacing these stud corners that we have. Like, with that stud, I could see him progressing.
Right.
By the time he's a junior or senior, being up there.
6'1", 178.
And he's from Texas, so that's adding on to the pipeline state even more. So it's a win-win. Number 26 rated cornerback, and he's running that type of speed. Like,
all right, let's look at Kenneth Douglas. Got a feeling it's gonna be like a 99, not 99, like a 97 speed. The acceleration is gonna scare me a little bit though. I gotta see where we at with that.
wow. +1 is good because I was kind of nervous that he was about to be a bust. But this man has 88 zone, 84 man,
Out the break.
81 press, 95 speed. Yeah, he could be faster as far as acceleration, but he's not about to get beat off the line of scrimmage initially.
You looking at a 93 or a 94 by the time he finish?
Yes, easily. And number 2, so I guess Clement, Douglas can stay. Irons, Palmer can go. And it's Savage, but because I know that both of those are recruits that have us as their top rated choice. However, it's like you don't meet the criteria to come to Navy. So
now I have a question, and this will kind of lead us into custom schedules.
Okay.
When do you schedule Georgia? Because we have to schedule Georgia. It's no getting around it.
No, it's not. I would schedule Georgia like week 5, maybe week 5 or like week 9, like in that, maybe, because it's already you'll already start building up points. You'll already be in the recruiting battle with him. Then on top of that, you'll most likely have a bye week with conference scheduling.
Right.
And there's always a couple of weeks in the middle of conference play that you're able to put in. So I would say schedule Georgia like 5, 9.
Gotcha.
Even if you got to do it later in the year too, just to separate it.
Gotcha.
Assuming that you're going to keep them on the board this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, with us being second and we're only down 160, I feel like we can even gain by scouting them this week. You know what I'm saying? We can even close.
Absolutely.
We can close that. So we get rid of Irons and Palmer.
Yeah, you can get rid of those two. Sorry, fellas, but you know.
And I feel like with these two corners here, I have a good feeling that Cody Clement is going to be an instant. Douglas, we're going to have to put some more work into, but if we can get them two, we do have 2 or 3 corners coming back next year. And that'll probably be around like that 85, 86 range. If Douglas does come, he's instantly becoming the number 1 corner. Maybe even the number 2. I'll just let him get his bumps and bruises early. So are you satisfied with corner? Do you feel like we need to do more digging?
I'm you know me, I'm always gonna try to dig until I can find a gym.
Mm-hmm.
But with gyms, you gotta know that they're gonna be recruited. They're gonna recruit more.
Right.
They're gonna be heavily recruited.
Right.
So
exactly.
I'm just happy to have these a breath of fresh air after that weak middle linebacker class that we looked at. So I guess we can go to. I was about to say outside linebacker, but something is telling me to go to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So we can like look at some tackles really quick.
Alrighty.
And then probably by the time we get done, we'll probably use up all of our points. All the high-profile schools want him. Could he be a gym?
That's a great question.
Cause it seems like I thought he was gonna have all green. It's some big boys up here, man.
Wow. Even though
Whoa.
we're third on the list, let's see who we're trailing.
OU and FSU. That he probably has high program tradition, and probably playing time.
Playing time,
Ooh.
championship contender, program tradition. So playing time isn't a worry. A+, he will come in and fill a void immediately. Do we feel like battling with these schools? Do we put one of these schools on the? Well, actually, we play Florida State.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Put maybe schedule OU.
Mm-hmm.
Possible.
If possible, right. So, I got a little schedule here. Teams that I'm keeping in mind. So, OU. So, are we adding them to the board?
What is his squat? If we can go back out. 665.
You said 600 plus is a dead giveaway for skill. That's an interesting point.
Body. Big body bims. 74 overall. If he goes down only like 1 to 2 skill point, okay, cool. But if he happens to improve upon that 74 overall rating, then I'm definitely keeping him on my roster. But if you look at it right now, bro, there's only so many 4-star recruits that are tackles.
Right. So, what would be your next move? Should we try to find maybe a guard and then boot one of our guards to tackle?
I mean, they're fast enough to be able to do so.
Right.
And honestly, we got to tackle now.
Here we go.
Oh. Yep. From New Jersey.
How do you feel about him?
Go to his you can go to his squat. 585. Nah, I'm passing. But it's one of those weird things where he could end up being in the gym. Robert, now him, 6'10" squat.
Oh no, that's a guy.
That's weird though. He's from Alabama, but he wants to go to OU. A spread team. That doesn't make no sense. He's number 72 rated guard, so he's not even like that high.
Right.
So I would pass. Stanley. Okay, Stanley. Okay, Stanley. Stanley got some taste. I feel like that's just a. I feel like he could be a gem. I just have a feeling, but his skill and his bench press don't look like it. But that's like the perfect. That's like the perfect breeding ground for a gem. He's actually has work. He actually has a lower bench squat than Bean does, but at the same time, he's faster.
Right. So that will give us what, like 5 total linemen that we added?
You know what? You could take him off. You could take him off the board.
Stanley?
I'm gonna listen to that. Yeah, you could take Stanley off the board. We can just go to these 4 stars. Washington, number 678. He says a gem. Wow.
He said Washington 678. You think is a gem?
Yeah. Washington. It's tough, bro.
I just feel like we're so far down the list. Let me see what they're.
It's tough. Nah, he's almost close.
How far back are we? 444.
We in the top 5. We in the top 5. I would add him, just in case, because we can see what he's scouted like and see what he actually is, and if he's not, and he's not up to par, we can always get rid of him. But I would like, if he's going to these top schools, I would love to just know like what his overall is going to be when he gets there.
Right.
Even if he doesn't come to us, because I want to know what the opposition is getting too.
Right.
So if he does go to Michigan, I want to be like, okay, well, Michigan is getting this, and when they come.
J Mac, what's going on? How are you? All right. So how many did we just add to the board? So we added 4 prospects. Do you want to go evaluate them?
Yeah, we can go. Fogel. No. Fogel.
You gotta go, bro.
Golden. Okay, Golden. 96 acceleration.
He almost a 70
round.
speed.
Goodness gracious. He's basic. He fits the mold of the lineman that we already have on the roster. So I would add him. He can be the baseline where we could start at. And it's kind of weird because we was just talking about scheduling OU. So and he said 76. He guessed it. All right, we can see what these guards talking about. Ayo, no. But he only went down 1 point, so it's not bad. That's tough. Where do we rank as far as AO?
Huh?
Where do we rank as far as AO? Like what are we on his list? Are we in his top 5?
Yeah, we're in his top 5. Number 5.
It's a risk. Just because he's from Michigan, he seems like. What is his interest again?
And he's definitely into a lot of these Big Ten schools. Championship contender is his most important thing.
Proximity. Hey, buddy, you're not about to win a championship at Wisconsin. I'm just letting you know that right now. You got a better chance coming to Navy.
Right. Exactly.
But because it's not a pipeline state, it's always a risk when it comes to adding all those points to him. Because I would love to have some type of bonus. I'm not
So
I'm not sold on these two, even though they're good. I'm not really sold as far as if we can get them, because we're gonna have to add points to both of them just to stay above water. Well, not him, but Curtis Pitts for sure.
So
he's plus 350, so he gotta stay. But him with that 280 and him being interested in Michigan as number one, I have a feeling like when we get into the season, he's gonna lock us out, or he's gonna it's gonna be a situation where they insta commit, or he just doesn't make ground with us. Yeah, I would go Washington over. He said Washington over Pitts. We might have to add Washington to the board.
So y'all want to see what Washington looking like? Hold on. So let me get rid of Pitts. Let's see what Washington looking like.
If you right, Howell. If you right. Let's just see. I don't know where he's gonna be a bust or not. I think he was a. Was he a guard? Yeah, he was a guard. Number 678. Third overall, Clemson, all OU, so he probably carries program tradition, playing time, conference prestige. Championship contender.
Yeah.
Program tradition, conference prestige. He's starting at a baseline of 70 overall, so it's either he can go either one or two ways. It can either be a bust or it can either be a gem. That's the only two ways. Cause he's right on that borderline of that 70 range. If he comes in, he's plug and play like. So I would hope that he's a gem, or at least if you're not a gem, at least be like a +2, +3 overall. So we can come in even if we got a red shirt you. 6'5", 311, ran a
4.7.
That's clutch.
I wonder if he could be a tight end.
6'5", 311. Like one of those big body.
Yeah, you know how like Jason Peters came in the league as a tight end.
Yeah, he could be. Especially imagine running that QB power, that what is it called? That Ace Twins, and having him as a tight end on the strong side. Or you can have him on the backside and then motion him over so it's overloaded.
And then he like the lead blocker. That's crazy.
That would be tough. All right, fellas.
Oh,
he was right.
Costa Damas. Let's go, Joel.
That's crazy. He was right.
He chilling on the board. Slim, we get 300. And then another game where we gotta play OU. Clemson is in our division. We can handle them. In our conference, I mean. So yes. OU is a must-play game for scheduling.
Yes.
Bro. Well, that's why you will be on episode either 5 or 6. Moon Vibes and I gonna gotta reach out to you so we can start game planning for that episode where you'll be the special guest. That is crazy. So where are we at?
We got what, 2 hours though?
It don't even feel like it, bro.
It don't even feel like it at all.
So I guess
you want to just go discuss some schedules? We can breeze through because we already know who we're gonna redshirt.
Yeah, yep. We had that discussion. We still, well, I guess we won't start the season yet. because we still got to add more players to the thing, but we do need to cover the custom schedules. Already done depth chart. Here's where it gets interesting. I guess we should definitely redshirt both of those freshmen. We'll have what 1, 2, 3,
4, 5. Yeah, we could burn both of them.
Yeah.
Where did that other tight end come from?
I guess he was like, because sometimes the receivers are ranked a lot higher.
Oh yeah, than tight end. Yeah, on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess James can be redshirted. Do we redshirt Clark too? I know we had a discussion earlier, but Daniel is a junior.
Mm-hmm.
He possibly could leave. Let's say he has a good season.
Mm-hmm.
If he does stay, then that's adding more depth. But Parker's going to be a junior next year. And then both of these are going to come in incoming freshman redshirts. So that's adding on to the depth. So we might not have to draft, or recruit tight ends next year.
So I'm going to just have to operate with this one because that one is being silly. So you said redshirt James?
Yeah, you could redshirt James. I would be even tempted to redshirt Clark, but I know we need the depth.
Mm-hmm.
But do we run a lot of, based on the formations that you love, it's not that we run a lot of two tight end sets.
Or even a tight end in a set. Spread flex is like the basis of what we do.
And that's why. So I would just say keep the first two. Let them ball out.
Mm-hmm.
And then freshmen, and then we have two. So that's basically we got two more freshmen on our recruiting board.
Right.
You can redshirt You can redshirt that Dixon because he'll be a freshman redshirt next year. You can redshirt actually both of them if you really want to. Oh, well, damn.
Would it be more important to redshirt him than Lumpkin?
I mean, Lumpkin is on the verge of getting cut. Honestly. So he might not even make the roster. But he has 52 speed and 90 acceleration, which is like so weird.
Right.
But because we're bringing in these other recruits, let's just speak into existence now that we're going to be able to get Washington and we're going to be able to get...
Right.
So if that's the case, let's say we do redshirt Jones and he has like a +6 jump and Rivera ends up leaving. We have an extra year eligibility for Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can end up probably starting Jones next year.
Exactly.
And then, starting Jones next year and then having Washington or come back in and possibly play the other the right guard.
Right. Because you look at it, Jones is a 79 now, +4 or 5. We talking 83 or 84. Can probably definitely like move him if necessary. Revere, hopefully he comes back, but I don't know, man. It's kind of highly over. Hold on. So I would like to just keep a tally because in case these people get hurt, we gotta have people that can play behind them.
Mm-hmm.
My theory on that would just be to let him play and redshirt him. How do you feel about that?
I'll redshirt both of them. And if Lane ends up getting hurt, then he just gets hurt. But I just got more depth for next year.
Gotcha. Linemen don't get hurt a lot on this game anyway. Whoa.
That's tough.
So we're gonna put Williams at right guard.
Yeah, Williams at right guard.
Let me do that now.
We might have to not redshirt that freshman.
Okay, they already got Williams at right guard.
So yeah, we talked about a lot we spent a lot of time on depth chart, but it was worth it. I hope y'all had your notepads and everything, taking notes to everything. Because depth chart is a lot, and I wish we could have did position changes, because position changes would have helped out a lot when it comes to that depth chart. But we not only gave you depth chart, but we gave you formation subs too, and the importance of that. But with the right tackle, it's kind of weird, because if we're gonna move Williams to right guard, then we might as well keep Edwards and not redshirt him.
Right. He might not even make the team next year unless he has like a super big jump. So.
And even if he does have a let's say +6, that's only 67 overall.
And we said we were redshirting Jason Bird earlier, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna redshirt Bird. Patrick.
Andrews.
Yeah, I'm not touching Andrews. Just because we need depth. Man, he can get redshirt.
He better pray have a +6 year.
You better pray. I can't touch either one of them, but honestly, I can if you want to redshirt that Phillips, because he's just not up to par.
Right. Damn, so he's a 6'4" corner, 90 speed, 93.
I didn't even see him before. That's crazy.
It was a cornerback that played with the Denver Broncos who was tall. Some years back. You said you even redshirted a 99 senior once? That's hilarious.
I've done that too. Sometimes you gotta be savage and do it. Sometimes you just gotta see what you're working with as far as like positions.
6'4" at Roberts at corner. I mean,
he's gonna be a stud next year.
69 catch, jump 84. Can he tackle? Yeah, like he like. I know he's not gonna get a big jump in speed, maybe a +1, but imagine like a +2 in acceleration.
Exactly. And added on to the corners that we plan on getting. So if we look at him, if we redshirt him, he's just another one on our recruiting board.
Right.
So we just got a 75 overall player now. James. Sorry, bro.
Kicker. We need to get a kicker.
Kicker too, yeah.
All right. So we've got that settled. Custom schedules. Now I wrote down that it was a must that we play Oklahoma and Georgia. Damn, they got this Florida State game locked week 1.
Well, that's okay, because the reason why that is because when we go to the main menu before we start the season, they give you the option for change conference for your teams, and in that option they have another sub option where you can go into each conference and pick the start of each conference play season. So you can start it from anywhere from week 1 to week 7. Because it started at week 7, that means that Florida State's locked at number 1. But I was gonna tell y'all the benefits of having that first week open and making it just all about recruiting. That first week, just spending all your points on recruiting. But since that first week is not open, you can still do it. But that gives the back end of the schedule. It actually works out pretty good though, if you really think about it. Because let's say, are we scheduling Georgia?
Bro, here's the situation. I can only schedule either Georgia or Oklahoma, and I think Oklahoma had 2 players on the team versus Georgia had the big player.
Hmm. I would say go OU. You already playing Georgia Tech if they have them. But we don't gotta limit our options though, because you could literally put Air Force right there and put make them play in that week right behind Notre Dame. So you have a rivalry game and then another technical rivalry game too with Notre Dame. So Air Force Notre Dame right behind each other. And then that open week in the middle, dang, this is kind of messed up. Oh, Georgia, snap. I would just schedule them.
Do we remove Notre Dame to put OU there?
I would do so. Notre Dame is ranked number 24. Yeah, it's a rivalry game, but dang, OU's not even an option. You could do some stuff and play like Alabama or something. It feels like something's missing though. Oh no, because it wasn't showing up as Army at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I can't get Oklahoma any of these weeks, bro.
It's probably because they probably get conference play in the middle of those games. That's tough. We did good Georgia though. What about week 14? Did you try that one already?
Yeah. At least I thought I did.
Well, if you can't get OU, you could substitute another top 25 team in place of them because a win is still a win against the top 25. And on top of that, if you make it later in the season, it can help you with recruiting even more. So
week 14 or week 11, 12?
That 10-11 range is when usually where we try to have all the recruits in by week 10. Like, have some signing. If you have some signings before week 10, that's great. So week 10 is that cutting off place. But you're gonna need a break. You're gonna need a break after a bye week to like readjust everything in that middle with conference play, since you're starting off right off the gate with it. But so I would do like either week 10 or week 11. Florida, LSU, Notre Dame. Honestly, bro, you might as well just keep Notre Dame because it's a rivalry game.
Schedule is weak.
B, only a B, but that's the ACC for you.
I'm not gonna lie, this is where independent helps, even though it hurts, because you can go undefeated. But if a team in a conference that has a conference championship, like that year we went 12-0, I'm like, oh yeah, we about to go to the Natty, and we didn't. So
yeah. That's like you can't go wrong with the rivalry game, especially scheduling it right there, and you doing it back to back. So wait, make sure you actually put a home game for that or you playing Notre Dame away, or you going you playing them in Annapolis?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Playing them at home. I can't even improve upon the schedule at all.
Yeah, that's where conference come into play. Heavy.
Wow.
I wish we can get rid of that Virginia game
bro.
Or something. Wake Forest or Vandy, like.
The Truth Gaming is in the building. What's good, bro? Yeah,
Cause you can, yeah, it's a rivalry game with Notre Dame, but you already got number 3 Georgia, and we don't see Georgia losing. We have to pray and hope that Georgia does not lose until we get there. We have to also pray and hope that Notre Dame doesn't lose. But you could also do something where instead of playing Notre Dame, you could schedule like a Alabama or I said Georgia going 75. So
that's hilarious.
That's
dog.
a risk. It is a risk because if they do fall like you said, that's gonna make our game look horrible against them as far as like recruiting and everything. Because it's not gonna be a top 25 matchup. And honestly, it's kind of a risk scheduling both of these teams top 25 because they might not be there at the end of the season. Arizona State's interesting. Who else? Because it's Pac-12 earlier in the year, week 6. So if you schedule that as a home game, then you could also like nip some recruits in the bag too. It's a game that we know the history between you and Arizona State. Man, the ACC is a headache. Oh, you got Oklahoma? Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't know how you just did that, but you just finessed it. Because I did not see Oklahoma before.
So do we schedule Georgia or keep Oklahoma State?
I keep Oklahoma.
I mean, Arizona State or Georgia? Because I can get Georgia back on here.
I guess.
But I feel like Georgia's going to drop, but they are leading one of the schools that we're trying to defeat. We play Clemson. We play Florida State. Those are teams that,
You are basically ruling the Southeast if you play Georgia right there. So you could, leave that Arizona State game as a bye. And, yeah, it will be good because you're playing Pac-12. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you would want to win. But the Pac-12 is super tough. Mm-hmm. So I think that Arizona State has a bigger chance of falling out of the top 5 than Georgia does at number 3. Assuming that Georgia's in the SEC East and they don't have to play Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Only issue is that it's not till week 10 I can probably play him.
But that's perfect though, because that's right on that little clips of where you have all these hoops. So let's just say we in the recruiting battles with Washington and all these other studs that we want to get. We can schedule them against Georgia later in the year, so that game has even more meaning. And although it's not a rivalry game, it's top 25. Mm-hmm. You're getting a bonus on top of the bonus that you're already getting with the visit and with the bonus points.
So I gotta make both of those home games, don't I?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of home games, and I'm afraid that they're gonna make my schedule suffer for it. Or they didn't, so it's still a B plus. It was one.
That's
home,
actually
2,
better.
3,
That's better than what it was before, because it was only a B.
Yeah. We cool with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, it could be better because we wanted at least A.
Right.
I'm A plus.
Right. We already know about them crazy schedules you be having. But I'm gonna definitely have to move them out of the ACC this year, man.
I will definitely move them. But I noticed when I be scheduling these A plus schedules, it's always the teams that I be scheduling that's high up on the list that don't end up being ranked at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. So I just think that the biggest game on the three biggest games on your whole schedule right now is at Florida State versus Clemson and the OU game. That's just off of first looking because y'all gotta go to Florida State. Florida State is tough playing at home, but I don't know why being in the ACC because I had to deal with this when I played Duke. They always schedule me Florida State first to start the season off. So, I think that we maximized it and made it at the best that we could because before it was like a C minus.
Right.
And then you got a rivalry game at the end of the year that we didn't really talk about with the Army Navy. That's adding on to it, so that can be another.
And it's televised. So.
And it's televised. So.
Highlight Green, what's going on, brother? So we covered a lot of information today, man. Definitely hope you guys had your notebooks out. We still got a little bit more to do with recruiting, so that's why we're not going to start the season. But we definitely wanted to hit what we needed to hit. Pretty much what was on our itinerary today for episode 103. So it was custom schedules, exposure. Did we talk about that? I guess we kind of hit on that with the custom schedules, red shirting and the importance of red shirting. We even went over formation subs, which was beautiful. Yes. We did add more recruits and we kind of figured out what we liked, what we didn't like. Depth chart. I mean, we covered a lot of information, man. A lot of information. As always, you guys were absolutely amazing with the questions you had. Oh well, man. Coastronomist. If he ain't called Washington, dog. So I think this is gonna really make an interesting next episode. Because we're gonna we're gonna recruit some more players next episode, but we're gonna really hit that why that pre-week is so important with recruiting. And I know Moon Vibes knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this has definitely been fun. Moon Vibes, would you like to add anything else before we close this episode out?
I would say this, because of the ACC being so weak this year, those games at the beginning of the year are going to look good at the end. That Florida State game is going to look nice at the end if we get a win.
Right.
That Clemson game is going to look nice at the end when we get a win. So the other teams, because, and I say that because of just the ACC is not as good as we at televised. So if we just banking on the fact that the ACC is weak and Florida State is a good team, Clemson's a good team, we just got to know that they're probably going to be, above 500, maybe 8-4, 8-4. In that 8-win, 9-win bubble. So even still, that's probably still at the lower end of being ranked. So it looks good for our schedule. I don't really got anything else to add besides, peace and abundance, y'all. Hope y'all stay quarantine clean. Appreciate y'all checking out our content. Appreciate the real ones that have been tuning in since Masterclass episode 1. Can we get a round of applause for KT, bro? Cause KT be giving y'all so much content, dog. Like, he be giving you so much content on a daily basis. But yeah, man, peace and love. Stay hydrated. Do something nice for somebody you normally wouldn't do.
Hey, man, most definitely. Also, Moon Vibes latest album review is up on Anchor.
Yes, sir.
Please go check it out. He pretty much did an album review on D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. It's excellent listen, so please go check that out. I have the link in Discord. I need to actually add a Moon Vibes command inside of this. So I'm going to pretty much chop this up. Like I said, hopefully it'll be up on YouTube, the edited version of this episode on YouTube before I go to work. If not, it'll definitely be up when I get off from work, man. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Moon Vibes, man, you my dog for life. Shout out to everybody else, man.
On mothers.
We out here.